Welcome back to JCE Connect online class. Let us begin with a module 5 in which we will cover up 8051 interrupts and interfacing applications. In the part of interrupt, we will see definition of interrupts and the step of operation, how the interrupt will be getting served by 8051. In the part B of this, we will see the interfacing applications in which 8051 will be interfaced to the external device to operate for stepper motor and to generate DAC, that is a digital to analog signals, and to interface to the LCD. Okay. Now the first part begin with interrupt, in which we will define what you mean by interrupt. Okay, so it is an external signal sent to the 8051 in which it requires attention from 8051 and getting served by 8051. Okay, it means that if a device is connected, external device is connected to the 8051, if it requires a service, it will send in the form of signal. This signal we will call it as an interrupt. To whom it is an interrupt? It is an interrupt to the 8051. Okay, when this 8051 sees this type of signal or a signal, it will give the service to the device, okay, which has raised the interrupt. Okay, so in a single microcontroller, we can serve several devices by two ways. Okay, this is a one device, how it will raise the interrupt. There is a several device, they will send the signal. Okay, that is what. Okay, now whenever the signal is received at the 8051, it will start giving a service to the interrupted device. When it is giving a service to the interrupt device, means the 8051 is in ISR mode, that is interrupt service routine mode, means it is handling the interrupt. Okay, I hope the concept of interrupt service routine is clear. Means it is giving a service to the device. When it will give the service? Whenever the device has raised the signal. That raised the signal, we call it as an interrupt. Okay, there is like a concept of pooling, in which in the concept of pooling, the concept of like pooling, in which the microcontroller is continuously monitoring the device to know the status. Okay, when the condition is met, it performs the service. Means there like a depends on the condition. Means when the microcontroller is continuously monitoring it, okay, for the giving a service, when it matches the condition, then it will start giving a service. It's a pooling. It's a kind of like pooling. It will pull the device to provide a service. Okay, after this, okay, that is a kind of operation in which after that it moves on a monitor the next device until everyone is served. Means it will start pulling one by one. Okay, now let us say that 5 devices are there. It will pull the device 1. It will see whether it requires a service, yes or no. No, then it will give it back. It will pull the second device. Like this process will be going on. Okay, then like in a pulling, it will monitor the status of several devices. Means how it will monitor the device in the form of like an instruction. I hope we know that there is a one instruction, JNB, jump if not bit. Okay, means jump if no bit is set. Which bit? TF bit. Means we know that there is like a TF. We might have used the instruction in the previous session, that is like a TI. Okay, that is a TI, means it is continuously monitoring the TI. Okay, means it is just looking onto the TI. Okay, means whenever the TI raises to 1, okay, means it is met the instruction or 8051, it has met with the condition by raising the TI. so that it will start giving a service or it will stop the service. This is how the pulling operation will be performed here. Means it is monitoring through the flag. We call it as a flag. There is a TF flag. TF not, TF1 will be there. Okay. Now, as we have discussed on interrupt service routine, on which how the step of operation will be performed. For every interrupt, there must be an interrupt service routine. Okay. Means if I take or something like this is my 8051, okay, microcontroller, and this is my device D1, device D2. Okay. Now, if the device D1 has sent a signal, we call it as an interrupt. Okay. Now the microcontroller will providing a service, that is called interrupt service routine. Okay. For every there is a fixed location. Okay. Now let us take the device D1. Okay. Now the device D2 has sent an interrupt. Okay. Now microcontroller will provide a service to the D2. Okay. Until unless they will send a signal, the microcontroller won't give a service. That is very much important. Okay. Now there is a very important concept we will see here. Okay. Every interrupt means, let us assume that there are the two devices are there. Okay. Means when the device D1 is there, it is all the way located in a one address. Means it is just something like, you can imagine that it is a program. Okay. In which the microcontroller will come at the location. Look at the word location. It will execute and it will go back. When it will come at the location, that location we call it as the address. Okay. It is a specific address given. So we call it as a vectored address. Okay. Let us assume that device D1 is there. Okay. Device D1 is sending a signal, and the microcontroller all the way it will come to the location and it will execute the program. Okay. So whenever it comes to the location, the specific location is mentioned. We call it as, okay, it will come to the location, vectored address, and execute the program. Okay. This is the location what we have mentioned. It is a fixed. Okay. You need not worry about this. You just provide a program. It will locate the address and it will give the service. That is the job of a microcontroller. Okay. Now there is a step of executing the interrupt. Okay. Upon activation, that is whenever the interrupt is occurred, whenever the 8051 sees a signal from the device, okay, it will provide in the form of steps. The first step, it finishes the instruction, it is executing and saves the address of the next instruction PC onto the stack. Okay. Let us take that. Okay. Let us take that there is like a instruction I1. Okay. Okay. Let us take that instruction I1 is there. Instruction I1, instruction I2, instruction I3. Okay. Assume that, okay, now your program is executing the instruction number I1. Okay. When it is executing the I1, okay, there is an interrupt is occurred. Okay. Let us assume that there is an interrupt will be occurred given by the device T1. Okay. Which instruction is executing? I1 instruction is executing. When interrupt is occurred by the device T1, all the way microcontroller will jump to the which location? The mentioned address at the D1. Right? Okay. Whenever it is jumping to the address D1, I hope there is a next instruction is there, I2. Okay. I2 and I3 is there. Then what it will do? It will send the address of I2, okay, the location of I2 where it is stored onto the stack. Okay, means because the PC, we call it the program counter, in which the program counter is loaded with the address, means the corresponding instruction is executing. before interrupt, which instruction is executing I1, means the PC is loaded with address of I1. Okay, if there is an interrupt is occurred, the next address of the instruction I2 will be loaded onto the stack. Means when it is loaded onto the stack, PC is free. When the PC is got free, it will immediately load the address of which program, the address of D1. It will be getting loaded. It will start executing the D1. When the D1 is executing, when it completes, okay, now it will fetch the address from where? From the stack. Okay, which address? Is it address of which instruction? I2, because I2 is still, it is not completed, it is in pending. It will fetch the address from stack. It will start executing the I2. Okay, this is how the stack, okay, means it will save the status of all the interrupts internally onto the stack, and it will jump to the specific location. There it is mentioned by ISR. Okay, now you can see when the program, where is a microcontroller, is executing the D1, okay, when it completes, you will find a end of the program IRET. IRET means, I hope you know, RET means return. Okay, I for interrupt. From the interrupt you return back. I hope you understood. Okay, from this one interrupt, it will be returned back. Okay, when it is returned back, the PC will be loaded with address of P2. Okay, this is what the step of operations will be performed by the microcontroller when it finds the interrupt. You can have a n number of interrupts. Okay, so whenever it is executing serially, if the interrupt is occurred, it will suspend the current address instruction. It will immediately go to the interrupted program, and whichever the program is suspended, it will load the address of that program onto the stack. It will complete the interrupt program. Okay, again it will pull the address from the stack, it will load it into the PC, start executing. This is what the process will be happening for the interrupt service routine. Okay, now whenever I say, okay, 8051 is supporting 6 interrupts. Okay, we'll see reset. 2 interrupts are set for timers, 2 interrupts are set for hardware external interrupts, that is, they are coming from port 3.2, 3.3. For external hardware, we call it as the external hardware INT0, INT1. Okay, there is a 2 external interrupts, INT0, INT1, and serial communication has a single interrupt that belongs to both receive and transfer operation. Okay, there's a quite 6 interrupts will be available here. Okay, we'll see one, okay, in detail of this. Okay, as I told, there's an interrupt, there is a 6 interrupts will be there. Reset is a universal interrupt, it will reset. The location will be 000. Okay, I hope you can understand, this is a location, specific location it is told, means it is a vectored interrupt. Each interrupt has its specific location, where it is now 003, 004, 00B. Okay, now external hardware INT0. Okay, what is the location of that? 003. Okay, now I told INT0 will be coming from which port? Port 3, that is 3rd bit. There is a P3.2. Okay, pin number 12, it is available in your 8051. You can verify this. Okay, timer 0, TF0. TF0. Okay, what is the location? 00B. External hardware INT1. What is the location? 0013. Timer 1, TF1, 001B. Okay, now serial COM, RI and TI. Okay, in order to check RI bit and TI bit, which location? 0023. These are the specific 6 interrupts. Okay, I hope you have all the way you have used this flags. Okay, in your previous module. Okay, TF0 you have used, TF1 you have used. Also you have used with the RI and the TI for transmitting and receiving of data bits. Okay, only the matter is that INT0 and INT1. Okay, this is a simple the instruction code what we have written here. ORG0 LJMP main. Okay, there is a very important task to be remembered here. The interrupt will be served for long jump, because we may not be knowing is it a near or far. Okay, we have to give it like a LJMP. There is a long jump. ORG30. Okay, look at this 30th location we have stored. ORG means your main will be begins at the 30th location and it will end and it will go back to the main program. Okay, that is upon reset all interrupts are disabled. Okay, now there is like a concept called masking. Masking in the sense we can disable all the interrupts. Okay, let us take that something like, if I take an example, that whenever I am reading for exam, we will switch off our mobile phone, we will switch off for all the interrupts will be occurring and we'll start processing it. Means we are masked. Similarly, if the 8051 is masked, it will disabling all the interrupts. Means it is not ready to accept any of the interrupts during its operation. Okay, means it is not ready to respond to any of the signal, any of the interrupts which may occur during the specific interval of time. The specific interval we have to provide it through the program. Okay, when I say the program, again we are going to be enabling and disabling this masking operation for the 8051. Okay, that is, look at this, the interrupt must be enabled by the software. Okay, there is a register called I. Okay, that's what, like how I am going to be enabling. There is a masking or unmasking. If it is in masking, it won't take any of the interrupt. If it is an unmasking, it can take interrupt at any moment of time and it will give the service. Okay, there is a register in which it is getting involved, okay, to making with the masking and unmasking. Okay, we call it as a IE register. Okay, that is the job of this one. For enabling, there is unmasking. For disabling means masking. Okay, means it will disable. Mask, there is a hide any type of interrupt. Mask, unhide, unmasking. Okay, look at this. This is a IE interrupt enable register. I hope you can see the each will be accessed by using 0 to 0.7. It moved from D0 bit to right to left. Okay, we'll see there is a EA. I hope it is very much clear for you. Disables all the interrupts. If this bit is set, means it will be disabling all the interrupts. Means 8051 is not ready to take any of the interrupt from any of the devices, except there are the two interrupts will be there, except will come in the coming class. Okay, IE6, okay, not implemented, reserved. Okay, ET2, okay, means IE.5, that is a sixth bit of this, enables or disables timer 2 overflow or capture interrupt 8952. It will be making the timer to be masked or unmasked, means to be enabled or not to be enabled. Okay, ES enables or disables the serial port interrupts. If I want to make an operation or to serve the operation or not to serve the operation by using with ES. ET1 enables or disables timer 1 overflow interrupt. Okay, enables or disables external interrupt 1, EX1. ET0 enables or disables timer 0 overflow interrupt. Okay, I hope you can recall there are the two timers will be there. timer 1 or timer 0, okay, enabling and disabling through ET1, ET0. Okay, EX1 enables or disable external interrupt. Okay, that is for overflow ET1, ET0. For external interrupt through EX1, EX0. Okay, these are the steps in which how we are going to be enable interrupt. To enable an interrupt, we make the following steps. Okay, that's a very much important bit we are using is the 8th bit of that. That is a D7 bit of IE registers. Okay, it must be set to high to allow the rest of the register to take effect. Okay, the value of EA, if EA is equal to 1, interrupts are enabled and it will be responded to the corresponding bits in IE are high. Okay, means it will ready to accept the interrupt. If EA is equal to 0, means no interrupt will be responded. Okay, if it is 1, it is ready to accept the interrupt. If it is 0, means it is not ready to accept any interrupt. Okay, this is what the basic step of operations. Okay, in which how the interrupt will be getting served. Okay, look at this one. EA is disabling all the interrupts, so that if it is set to 0, okay, it is a masked. Okay, means it won't respond to any of the device. Okay, that is associated in the form of like IE register. That is a high. Okay, I hope you understood the concept of interrupt. In further class, we'll see with in detail operations and its programming concepts. Thank you.